Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, July 30, 2021, Friday. Another critical day in sense of COVID-19 and talk is on quality and safety, quality in relation to everything, every act in life. This talk, see this episode title being Field Engineering, Civil Field Engineering, Other Field Engineering, Quality Annex, COVID-19, SHE Engineer's Role, Designs, Construction Methods, Contracts, Organizations, Communications, Coordinations, and Quality, which is very important matter for me and should be for everybody. It's not a joke. We have certain authorities to use certain titles which are professional one, and also in every profession such titles are awarded. It may be chartered engineer, it may be professional engineer, it may be fellow member or associate, it may be chartered accountant, it may be advocate, it may be doctor, it may be whatsoever professional titles all we have. These titles speak something. When these titles speak, we have to respond to. We don't want to keep these titles in glazing and display on wall, but they should be displayed in work. That is main requirement of these titles. And if these titles cannot give what's expected is quality performance in profession, whatever profession one is involved with. If one doesn't deliver that, which shows that there is some defect in this certificate, or there is some defect in that professional. Certificate cannot be kept only for show or only for CV. It means that this person is capable, which is announced by this certificate, and that indication is that whatever work is done, that should be according to professional requirement. And professional requirement includes quantity and quality with demanded actions, demanded deliveries, and that should be all supported by another discipline, and that is called safety, health and environment. Without including safety and health and environment in short term, that's during performance of good or performance service, and also in long run, because safety is also involved in permanent works rather than procedural works. Permanent works means, for example, there is a duration of 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or 100 years of whatever work you do, whatever product you deliver. It should be safe, in that means permanent safety, and one is working safety. Working safety and permanent safety both are linked together, because permanent safety is based on working safety and working quality. Without quality and without safety, we cannot say that's permanent safety. And health is also permanent. If safety doesn't exist, health cannot exist, or if health doesn't exist, safety cannot. Both ways there are. Health means mind health and body health, biological health, and that works only when you are safe and you are having certain qualities, certain system of living, I should say. That's also quality one. How do you live? How do you want to live? And are you living to your desires, or you are living to your requirements? Living to desires in one part of life means we have certain lust and you want to gain that, you want to achieve that. And living to requirements, another part of life means which is dominated, which is dictated by certain professionalism, by certain work requirements, by certain duties requirement, responsibilities requirement. Sometimes we are bound by certain responsibility, obligations, or duties that we cannot enjoy our life like we should or we feel. But no way, duty is first, work is first, because we came to earth for work, not to enjoy alone. Enjoying is a spare part, you can say. You can fit in whatever time you have in life. That can be occasional or casual, but enjoying your work is more important. If you perform work, if you do work, and if you don't enjoy, this means there's something wrong somewhere in the mind as well as in the work. If you can't enjoy performance of work, you can't enjoy your working, you can't enjoy what you think of or you do of, or you don't like your profession, then that's your weakness. There's no work in this world which doesn't give enjoyment. Every work gives work enjoyment, entertainment. If your profession is such that you don't like it, you shall never get entertainment from that work. But if you like it, like worship, if you work or you worship it, it's same thing. When you consider work as your destiny, work as your future, work as yourself are born for this, you consider this, that I am born for this. Irrespective of what money you are getting, keep money as factor aside and then think of, because money is one part, but work is another part. You have to work whether you get money or don't get money, that's different. You feel happiness, you feel pleasure, you feel a degree of entertainment when you think I have done this for society, for world. Successfully I have done it and I can improve it further. And that hunger for improvement, the thirst for improvement has no limit. And that goes on and on and on, and you will find mistakes, you will do errors, you will make mistakes, and you will learn lessons from that. And that's nothing wrong, means you have to make mistakes, because mistakes are human errors, means it happens. If you do something, sometimes you are neglect, you are ignorant, or you are careless, that should happen. But it happens, what to do. Sometimes your work is dependent on other involvement. Sometimes you have to work on yourself. When it happens, in 98% cases you are dependent on others. In team, in that case there are chances that somebody can cause error, and that responsibility comes to you for correction or from whatever action you want. It is required to be taken. So that's called quality performance, means your quality is dependent on yourself. When it is exclusively dependent on others, that's the best state of working. And as I am responsible for this and I don't need somebody else, I am alone, I am adequate for this. My strength, my capacity, my performance, my requirement, my attendance, and my concentration on this is quite strong. I can do alone. I don't need somebody else's participation in this. I think that's best state of work where you are involved. Not yourself, you think yourself, and you do that. That's sometimes I think it's best, but generally it happens that you have to depend on others, whether you are in execution or you are in designs or you are somewhere else in quantification. Wherever you are, means you are dependent on someone else information given to you, and that information can cause problem. But it doesn't mean that once it happens, second time it happens, you will teach that person and that person shall correct itself. It happens usually. Every person has what that person shall correct. If that person doesn't work well, it doesn't listen, that person has to go, that this job doesn't suit that person. That's why we generally take care. So quality is very important. That says, means one should be safe from errors, one should be safe from mistakes. We should, yes, mistakes we cannot avoid every time. Means there can be mistakes, means different classes of mistakes are there. Mistakes that we can say it happened due to defective information. You had some information, or you did not get the information in time, but the urgency had to do this work, or you could not hold this work due to some other reason. Their machine was available, it had to go and you had to perform this work. Likewise, there are so many points that can be considered in that case, and that's very important consideration, we can say. It happens with everybody, not that everybody is wrong or right, but it happens in profession. But it's not condemned. Errors do happen, I agree with that, but errors which are caused due to negligence or carelessness or deconcentration, those cannot be considered. That's why I'm saying, if you enjoy your work, you can enjoy everything. If you are involved, you are immersed. Immersion is very difficult for everybody. Everybody cannot get state of immersion of mind into work sea, because when you are immersed, means either you are river of work, or you are in tank of work, or you are in a lake of work, or maybe you are in sea of work or ocean of work. You have that much work. They immerse all time for every consideration, and that stage is really enlightenment. And if you get enlightenment, you can see, you enjoy. There's no other source that can grant you, that can take you to that level of enjoyment or entertainment as immersion of mind into your work can give you. Try to understand my point. Immerse yourself in work. That is called immersion, then further immersion, that further immersion. for 5 minutes, for half an hour, for 1 hour, or for whole day, whatever duration of time you immerse yourself in work, that is called, rising state of concentration. You concentrate on some point, and that concentration gives rise of your mental state, and that mental state pulls solution. If you are not able to solve, your effort shall search in your mind, or you will get solution from pouring of nature. Nature shall pour you that solution, because there is nothing in nature that exists which does not have any solution. Every problem has solution. We accept this fact or we don't accept this fact. It is scientific principle. If there is a problem, there is a solution, and that solution you get through yourself, through your mind, which is connected to nature. Mind is connected to nature not physically, but consciously and mentally. When you raise questions, I mean to say, not in writing or physically or by speech, but when you raise questions means your mind remains busy, it tries to search out solution, it's unable to search out solution, but there are solutions available in mind. Due to many reasons, you are not able to connect to those solutions, due to you are remaining overoccupied or you are too busy. But when you relax, when your active cells settle, and cells which are passive with answers, that start rising, and that flow comes to your conscious mind, and you say, got it. Because God helps those who help themselves, that's true. So what I mean to say, I'm not going to that phrasing, but what I'm saying is, if you want to live happy, if you want to live not for money but for success of life, because money achievement, money gain is not success of life, because that money cannot go with you, but solutions, power of strength in soul, spirit we call it. Your soul is an entity that goes with you. Actually you are a soul. It's a kind of software, you can say, natural software. This software is very strong. This software means you are living in your body. If this software is crashed, or it is, you can say formatted, if this software is formatted, you are a blank person. You don't even know at that time what's your name, who are you. That state doesn't happen, but it can happen. And there's a problem in mind, it happens. There are so many people who are impacted adversely on their minds, and they can't identify themselves or their family members. Well, I don't want to go to that way, just reference it is. Means quality is not simple quality control. It's every state what you do in your profession, which is linked to quality and safety. Quality and safety, you can say, are 2 points that have lot of paramount importance. Without this, you cannot survive. If you think I don't care for quality, I don't care for safety, I have to move forward, that means you are going certainly to ditch yourself. You are going to fall into some gulf, you are going to fall into some sea, and you won't survive. That's why you like it or you don't like it, you have to give quality. Quality talk is not new. It's not new. People have quality systems. They have developed quality systems. But system I can call only when it performs. If there is quality system, what is aim of that quality system? What's objective behind this quality system? That objective is that if this system is complied with, because we have designed this system, we have designed this system for purpose of quality product. It's not for sake of making some writing or making some scheme just to tell others we have this system. That system, though it's not guaranteed for product, but it is required, it says, it indirectly tells, if you follow me, I shall give you this level of product, provided my resources or given resources to me are work, are functional. But those resources have got some problems. It may be automatism, it may be equipment or machine, it may be human resources, or it may be material resources, or whatever else. This means in that case, when your system is open to work, but there is some problem in either of these resources, there can be cost impact on quality product. That is very important point. Means if you analyze, I have put everything in order according to this system statement. I follow every step, every requirement as a coordinator. But what happens when I check, I inspect, I examine product label? I don't get that. At that time, because you are analyzing, you analyze everything, you keep a track, certainly you will find somewhere that something has gone wrong. And because it's not easy to look at all activities simultaneously, maybe you detect that there something was wrong and it has happened. That is called quality examination, quality checks, or you can surveillance on system operation. That surveillance is very much important. If we don't have that surveillance, we can say we do not comply with that system. Even sometimes one lapse can lead to whole product being substandard. But how to do it? Point is that in engineering there are many materials which are tested at many locations, many stages, and there are many inspections done, many level of surveillance is done. All products are wealth from natural wealth. Wealth extracted out or processed out of natural wealth. And this natural wealth is also extracted by high level of efforts. Natural materials are extracted from crust and we convert them to be used for product. It may be mechanical product, electrical product, civil product, or whatever product. All this product comes directly or indirectly from nature. This means nature is our original source. Sometimes we people keep this factor aside. Oh, nature, you are talking of nature, you are not practical person, you should be scientific. Oh my God, it is scientific to talk of nature. You are not understanding what is scientific. Nature has to tell me what is science. You get my point. It's nature that has to tell me what is science. And once nature tells me science and teaches me how to apply, that science becomes applied science. Science means you have to understand what is nature, how does nature perform, and nature means all nature, it's not simple earth. Once I understand how nature works at whatever point, how does it work? What is its secrecy? Means if I am understandable, if I can understand that scientifically using power of mind, power of analysis, science, certain results coming. certain knowledge of science comes to you, and that science, because we call it science when you understand something, what's happening in nature, how it's happening, when you can question and answer what is that, how is that, why is that, how it can be written, how it can be understood, how it can be applied, then that natural resource or source that was secret till now, that was only based on observation, it becomes becomes to state, or we can say it's now science. So once you understand nature, means you deliver science. And when you deliver science, when you get science, you get some mechanism known. It may be applied naturally or it may be applied through certain process. It depends. When it is applied through certain process, that process is also known. We establish that process. And that itself is called science, applied science. When we talk of engineering in broad term, in brilliant term, engineering means use your mind and do some work according to requirement. Use your mind to do some work according to clear requirement, so that whatever product we get, intention that should be achieved, means whatever we intended for, that this product should do or shall do, that should do. That's not realize this fact. Quality is natural. If quality is not natural, we cannot use product. Every material available in nature, it may be organic, it may be inorganic, it may be stone, it may be soil, or it may be minerals, or whatever, you can say, whatever has got some inbuilt quality, natural quality. You take example, we take fruits, we consume vegetables, we take wheats and rice or water. All these are considered chemicals from one way or other. Some is organic chemical. You think of fruits, banana, apple, pineapple, or you can say whatever fruit you take, you consume. You see, you have not to add anything to those deliveries or packet. Means banana is a packet, there is a thick skin. Same way, apple is a packet, there is a thin skin. Or you can say whatever else you may draw yourself, you will find either a thick skin or a thin skin on that, and it is perfectly built up, packed, and delivered to you through source of tree or plantation. Means factory is there, that is tree, that is plantation, and that factory is fueled by earth, by soil, by water, and by sun. You get this product. This product has exact balance to survive. You buy banana, remove its skin, and you eat it. You do same thing with apple, same thing with whatever else fruits you take. Directly you can consume that. There is no requirement of doing anything else on that. Nobody is involved in cooking them, but to grow them. Grow them only. there is quality in that product because we consume for good health. We do not know exact quality of that. Maybe scientists know that, but that is consumable. Similarly, we can take rice, we can take wheat, we can take pulses. Of course, we have to cook them, but if there was no procedure of cooking, then we could take directly as well, by just like we take grams and masticate and consume it. We can masticate wheat also. So if it was a practice, because our body would convert to that requirement. Respiration, breathing. You are all natural systems. I am also natural system, of course. I have soul, but system is natural. It is maybe soul or maybe my body. Its complete quality, if I maintain it, if I destroy it, is destroyed. God did not do any mistake while delivering this body through womb. Who did make mistake? We made mistake. God did perfect work on that at his own machine, at his own factory. But means it's best quality product, you can say, if you are a best person. Your soul is best, your thinking is best, your contemplation is best, your best quality product. But where is comparison? This is best quality or better quality or good quality. That's what is required to understand. Every person has different character, different quality, different, you can say, thinking. Every person is different because of feedback like that. One may be educated, one may not be educated. But what I am telling you, it doesn't need an education. If I can understand what nature talks to me, I have to observe nature. I have to keep a watch on nature and see how it works. Very first lesson says you have to be punctual, you have to be regular, you have to be in routine, and there is no need of any rest leave. You never see sun goes, or sun has gone on vacation, or moon has gone on vacation, or air has gone on vacation. Just think, if these agents of God, these go on vacation, what shall happen to us? What shall happen to us? It's very imaginary question. But imaginary or not imaginary question is question. Means our survival is dependent on them. If these people stop working, these natural systems stop working, what shall happen to us? Can we tolerate that? If suppose today whole water is withdrawn from earth, what shall happen to us? Whole water means sea body water, river body water, all water from even below strata of earth, all is withdrawn. Shall world survive? Is it not a question? It is imaginary but theoretical. We have this part of analysis. Means nature is most quality system, best quality system. It delivers what's required. You can take vegetables. These are all packed, well skinned. No vegetable is without skin, without protection cover. No fruit is without protection cover. It depends on requirement of that item, that consumable, and we do it. Of course, these are decomposable indeed. It may be vegetable or fruit. These both are decomposable. If you don't consume that within certain period, these start changing their composition, and we call it has gone septic or it's stale. We can't take it. Its composition that is changed means its product is same. Energies are same. Energies are built in that product, banana, apple, or whatever else. Same way your vegetables have same capacity. So we have to learn this from nature, that nature is a perfect engineer, perfect manufacturer, and it doesn't come in picture, but it works. It works through these systems. This is an engineer that can think a lot. Engineering means thinking. So natural engineering has to be thought of. I think we should understand natural engineering before we understand physical engineering. Engineering is what? Engineering is to produce. Engineering is to design. Engineering is to deliver those products which are useful, which performance can be measured. Means, in fact, every activity is engineering. Every real activity is engineering. Maybe it's not a part of engineering, but it's engineering. Just like we used to say in past, in history, there was no fire, but striking of two stones together released fire. Today, we have all materials that can fulfill life requirements. Is healthy or wants to become healthy, you will get rid of many diseases, many ailments, if you keep yourself up to natural agencies. Construction is such a big business. I'm saying business because it has been made a business. Medical world also has been made a business by many corrupt medicos, by corrupt owners. I'm not saying all, but those who have sold their souls, I'm talking of those. One may be doctor, one may be engineer, one may be whatever. And that's the only reason the quality has dropped everywhere. You can refer to whatever product you get through manufacturing. You shall not find expected quality. You shall not find. I'm saying in open, quality that was intended, that was expected, is not delivered. What is delivered then? Bad quality product. This means that product is product for sake of product, but that product is only for maybe, it may not work at all, or it may work partly. Even if you are alone and you think many factors, you think for yourself, think for activities, and you coordinate in your mind, you will get something. But it happens. It's very difficult to understand nature. It's very difficult to understand how does it work and how does it help you. It's very important to understand. Sometimes we have solutions around us, but we look forward, we look here and there. What is solution? That's also a point you have to consider. I've been to higher degrees, further higher degrees. Because once in engineering job, in construction job, in design job, you remain busy all time, maybe work for 12 to 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day. And it's not simply physical work, mind also works. When mind works, you cannot say it is physical work. When mind works, maybe you are taking rest, you relax, or you take bath, or you sleep. Your mind does not sleep. Mind is very fast. If there is someone who is very smart in this world, if there is someone which can be called excellently brilliant, excellently active, excellently reminder, if there is someone in this world, I can simply say without any complications that it is mind. We may say, don't mind it, please. Why? Why do we say, please don't mind? This means mind has some meaning. That's why people say don't mind. If you don't mind, means you want to get benefit from someone, you want to extract support from someone, help from someone, or you want to get some inquiry from someone. But you say, please don't mind. This means indirectly you yourself give permission that I'm authority to raise question if you don't mind. Certainly if you say don't mind, other person will give concession. Okay, question. This means mind is a power. And mind is given to everyone. It's not that I have mind, you don't have mind. Or I don't have mind, you have mind. Mind as an instrument, mind is a body, mind is a component, physical. It resides in animals, of course, to some extent. It resides in birds, of course, to some extent. Because those creatures, animals and birds, are only required to survive. To an extent, food is possible. They only search throughout day for food. But it's only human that least bothers about food, or you can say it after taking food, it wants to get every other available benefit, available item, available good in life, and it uses that. Just like in construction, for one item, we have to create one item, we require raw material of that, we require technology of that, we require support of machines, support of other people, whatever else. You can say only then we can do construction. Otherwise we won't be able to do if we don't have all these resources. Because and more over this, all these resources are natural, all natural, particularly in construction. Directly natural. Maybe some natural material have been processed and these can be called bricks. But otherwise, in concrete world, in plaster world, decoration world, in decoration world, everything is natural. You use cement. Cement is of course not directly natural, but its cementing property is natural. Sand you use, stone chips you use, we call aggregate, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, water you use, or petrol you use for driving, for trucks, diesel you use, whatever you use, and human resources you use. Machines may not be called directly natural, but majority of resources, majority of support or non-support, or majority of items that has to become permanent in that structure, that project, those are all natural. That's beauty of civil engineering. Which if you don't, material is also a science. What is natural material? How we can make use of it? How we concrete or other mortar or something else in combination with water. This is all very important. Means our quality is dependent on quality contained by nature within these ingredients. Nobody can deny this fact. A mechanical engineer would say, I have been given this machine, what can I do? Yes, that's right, you cannot do anything. But an engineer who designed this machine and an engineer who manufactured these machines, they know that all this was done by natural material. Steel is produced, iron is produced, all other metals are produced and they are used. They are given shapes for industry, materials, for plants, for processing units. And convert it to by processing. Or we call stone chips. Or you crust further. You crush further or use agencies work and you get sand, etc. Means there is natural input in them. You don't have any more degree, but learning doesn't need degree. Learning gives you sharpness, gives you potential, how to do best, and therefore learning is very important, I think, rather than putting yourself into focus of titles of degree. Degrees are in their own place. This is a measurement actually. What's degree? It's measurement that this person can perform this level, can perform to this level. That is called percentages of definition or power of work you can do. Nobody is perfect, we know that. But whatever perfection do you have, you deliver that. Maybe it is 20% successful, you are 80% successful. It depends. And 100% success lies in rare cases. In rare cases. Even if a doctor does operation and tells, okay, I have done my job, you do like this, you take these precautions, and if it happens, means God will help you. It's God that shall help you. We have to think of whatever is best way to do some activity or to use some material. What's best way of that? That best way related explanation differs from person to person depending on attained experience by that person. Some persons have experience in life and they know much more than those who are much better educated than that person. It's not because that person has no degree or only ordinary degree, but because that person has experience, real experience. And once you have experience means you shall try to refer to available documents, available codes or something else or whatever else. You should try to know more and more about that. That is pragmatism. Because every answer you cannot get from books. Every answer I cannot get from books because books are limited. There are very, you can say, shortage. There is a big shortage. Or you can say non-availability, actually not shortage. There is non-availability of professional books. I mean books which can be used in professional work and not just professional academic education. Because if you have experience, only then you can write something. And if you don't have experience, how can you write something? You cannot write. Our professors who write books, because they teach every time and they write books only from that aspect, that their students will read this, it will be a support to them, and I can save time on further explaining about various chapters of that book. Book writing is one part, but life book is another one. Book in life depends on real experience and not on certified education. Certified education is one part of life, and to fulfill your life, fulfill your requirement and think on again and again, that is another school in which you go for higher level of school education or then university education. Everywhere in construction, everywhere in real estate, everywhere in civil projects, we have to deal with how to do. That how to do is really very important point. How to do. It varies from person to person. You just raise a question to 10 persons, to 10 engineers, and ask them to write their views. You will find all different answers. I am not saying the answers may be wrong. These answers right, keeping in view those circumstances in which you are working. That is very much important part. You have to understand clearly. Sometimes we cannot understand anything and we leave it to others. But remember, in engineering, in medical, clear concept pays. If you don't have clear concept, in engineering better don't do that. This is my suggestion. Clear concept is earning of engineering. This means you understand that topic, you understand that subject. And if you don't have clear concept, don't risk. Because you are going to use materials, you are going to use human resources, you are going to use equipment, but you are not clear about technology. You will lose something, certainly. You should not do that. Even if it's design work, don't do design. If it's construction work, don't do construction. Until and unless every act is clear. If you don't have knowledge, then you have to get someone who knows this. Because it's permanent loss if you make mistakes. Irreparable loss. Irreparable. It's money. And in fact, it's not money alone. It is natural material. If that happens, what to do? Somebody would say, this is not quality product. This person knows nothing. This company knows nothing. You are hiding something shall make you earn bad time. Easy to say, but very difficult to understand. When I say I have to do something, I want to tell someone how to do it. If I write something, or if I give someone else that writes something, and then another person writes something, all these three may be experienced, but generally these four cases here, they make up future of project. Method, when we say method, what does it mean? Procedure, what does it mean? These are not very specific explanations for them. Whatever work we do in our life, forget engineering, whatever work, you have to understand that work first. Then in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, one may be matured enough after games, all that, they have time to cover up. Cover up what? You have to cover up your construction, you have to cover up your work, and that cover up should be not simple cover or beautiful cover, but it should be dynamic, useful, reliable cover. I write something, whatever is in my mind, and you also write something, what's in your mind about work. And you will find everybody does differently. Learning of construction is exclusively important, because if you do not know how work is done, in what sequence, then your designs also shall be defective. Really speaking, designs will be defective or design will be factual, it depends upon you. But construction requires your energies, your mind. Difficult, you can say it is. So what I am saying is, we have to be a little smart in this case. I am not going to talk all time about this, because other was to talk of, and that is, you can say, safety issues. This time, this episodes which I am going to include are of safety, health and environment, and ergonomics. Ergonomics may be new for some people, but it's very, very important one, because you can say it helps us remain active in work, and it doesn't also help that it will spoil your time. Method statements are very important in whatever work we do, in whatever discipline we do, wherever we do. Very important one. I'll close these certificates now, because purpose of these certificates is over. Then now I'll go to, yesterday I was talking of abrasive wheels, and we talk a lot about this abrasive wheels item. We talked at length and we referred to some catalog also. I think I showed to you that catalog. I mean, some companies I take from internet something and try to show you. And I think it was water abrasives and general requirements, and that is Wikipedia one. Let's see one by one these two, just to just to remind what we talked of. It's not that I'm going to discuss again. No, I'm not going to spend. Just to refer to you what was discussed. You can say grinding, and we talked of in few pages about various photos of grinders. And then we talked of production for good applications and choosing right abrasive grinding product, die grinder, angle grinder, bench grinder, and also grinding wheels and angle grinder discs, grade, abrasive grains for grinding, abrasive grains for grinding, and of course we talked of it's like grains means which grains we use, which type of this grinders we use, what type metal they have, ceramic, alumina, that is how can it perform, then zirconia, alumina and aluminum oxide and silicon carbide. Then compatibility we discussed about, and various such issues, differences, and what type of these two. We had gone through this, and also we had gone through another one, and that is Wikipedia, right? In which we studied about grinding wheels. We studied grinding wheels. Hold on. What is grinding wheel? Its explanations. Abrasive materials like aluminum oxide, silicon carbide, ceramic, diamond, cubic boron nitride, grain size, wheel grade, and you can say wheel bond. What are different types of this? We have wheel holes, abrasives, effect finish, coolants, etc. All these, and we discuss all this. We discuss ceramic points, all these points. So that's all we did. So I close this file as well, and we'll go to abrasive wheel, which we are here. Of course, this was also done. We defined our statement. We were here somewhere. In this, we are somewhere here, I think. Let's take from. I leave responsibilities now. I'll start from responsibilities, right? Abrasive wheels, as you can say, abrasive wheels is, you can say, it's a power tool. It's power tool, and it is very much useful in mechanical world, in welding world, in machining world, on sites. This is a tool. It can be used for repair work, it can be used for cutting work, it can be used for reaming work, or it can be used for, you can say, preparation of some surface. In this case, there are so many responsibilities, and there can be accidents as well. First of all, we are very serious about how to use it. Abrasive operations are very risky, but these are required. You cannot go without them. You have to. Site manager or site organizer is always responsible, ensuring that overall requirements are understood and followed by all people involved with abrasive wheel works on project. Safety manager or safety organizer of whatever class, they are also responsible for everything, how it is operated, what activities are involved in operation of abrasive, and they have to control all this. Supervision is very much required, supervision of subcontractor carrying out abrasive operations, and to make sure that work method statement and risk assessments have been carried out as required by nature of operation. Equipment is adequately of right capacity, integrated and safe for its intended use, and stopping unsafe operation and reporting all incidents means you have no right to do unsafe operation. First of all, this means you should know what is safe and what is unsafe. That is also very important point. You cannot simply start something which you do not know and say, oh, accident happened because, no, you can't say that. Engineer, foreman, sergeant can't say that. You should know before you do something, what's that, how should it operate, what precautions you have to take, how you have to take, and when you have complete training, you can say you are qualified for that item. Regular inspection and maintenance of equipment is a must. Now, accidents involving failure and damage of abrasive wheels. Equipment are frequent on construction sites. Means these results are very serious when they do occur, and there may be causes on that. It could be operator's error, means a person who uses that tool, it's that cause. Error by operator, error by that person who uses that tool. Or these are not inspected properly, these machines, this equipment, these tools, and maintenance is not done when it is due. And there is no charting out plan, what to do, when to do, how to do, what work you have to do, and just ignoring requirement of safety precautions, ignoring how safety can be considered to keep this activity safe. And of course, when you are tired, you should not use the machine or tool, power tool, but your work over and you're tired, or you can say you misuse this equipment. That all factors lead to accidents. Selection of wheels. After all, this is a wheel. Selection of wheels. Selecting correct wheel for job is equally important. Means suitable wheel, abrasive wheel, that should suit that purpose we are talking of or is required. Selecting correct wheel for job is equally important for efficient production and for working safely. As a practical rule, soft wheels are considered more suitable for hard material, while hard wheels suitable for soft materials. This is maybe some kind of principle, you can say. It says selecting correct wheel for job is very much important, right? Just like we say right person for right job, you can say right grinding wheel for right job, right abrasive wheel for right job. This is requirement so that you produce in future whatsoever, it should be efficient. Selecting correct wheel for job is equally important for efficient production and for working safety. As practical rule, soft wheels are considered more significant, more soluble than tolls. If we have hard material, I think soft material can be used to cut it, and hard you can say then with wheels of unsuitable structure for job. With wheels of unsuitable structure for job, loading may result, that is abrasive wheel face without an instrument. With wheels of unsuitable structure for job, loading may result, that is abrasive wheel face becomes clogged with particles of material being ground. A wheel may also be too hard or too fine for resulting in glazing. A wheel may also be too hard or too fine, resulting in glazing. Operator is then tempted to press work piece too hard on wheel, causing it to break. A wheel may also be too hard, you can say it's too hard, or too fine, resulting in glazing. Means too hard or glazed, you can say. Operator is then tempted to press work piece too hard on wheel, causing it to break. Best policy on selecting grinding plant is to consult manufacturers of machines and abrasive wheels, and not to experiment without having competent professional advice. Best policy on selecting grinding plant is, or abrasive wheel is, to consult manufacturers of machines and abrasive wheels, and not to experiment without having competent professional advice. Abrasive wheels characteristics and marking. Abrasive wheels characteristics and markings. In process of manufacture of abrasive wheels, abrasive and bonding materials are controlled to produce wheels of varying qualities required for an almost unlimited range of grinding conditions and requirements. So you have to select some material and you have to manufacture that abrasive wheel, and you have to control these requirements. Abrasive and bonding materials are controlled to produce wheels of varying qualities which are required for almost unlimited range of grinding operations or grinding conditions and requirements. There may be some requirement, there may be, and here are something you can say variable elements of abrasive wheels, manufacture and standard symbols that are used to designate them. Now here is some equation you can say: prefix, abrasive, grain size, grade, structure, bond type, suffix. There is prefix, that is W, abrasive is A, grain size is number, grade is K for example, structure is 5, bond type 5, suffix is 70. Now here prefix is manufacturer's abrasive type symbol. Manufacturer's abrasive type symbol, use optional. Then it's abrasive, that's A. Aluminum oxide for example, A, it's aluminum oxide. Silicon carbide is C. So which abrasive is that? It should come there. If it's aluminum, it shall be A, aluminum oxide. Silicon carbide, it should be C, likewise. And grain size, that is here 8 to 24, let us say 8 to 24. Then there is coarse, it may be medium, that is 30 to 60, and fine, that is 80 to 180, and very fine, that is 220 to 600. This is range, these two ranges, that is grain size, coarse, medium, fine and very fine. This goes to grain size. Now if grain size is 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 24, it is coarse. If it is 30, 36, 46, 54, 60, it's medium. And if it's 80, 100, 120, 150, 180, it's fine. And if it's 220, 240, 280, 320, 400, 500, 600, it's very, very fine. Very fine. These are numbers. Grade is scale A through Z. Grade is scale A to Z. And structure, what sort of structure it is? So grade and structure, then bond type. Grade is scale A through A to Z, you can say. Structure is dense through 1 through 8. 1 through 8 to open 9 through 15. So this is structure, dense structure. Then it's 9 to 15, 1 to 8 is dense, then open is 9 to 15 through 15. And bone type is V, that is verified. B, vitrified, actually is verified wrong, I'm sorry. V is vitrified. Bone type is V, vitrified. T, and B is resinoid, R is rubber, E is shellac, and S is silicate. Then there's suffix. So these are here, you can say prefix, abrasive, grain size, grade, structure, bond type, suffix. We had gone to abrasive, here we have grain size here, grade, structure, bond type, vitrified, resinoid, rubber, shellac, silicate. Suffix, manufacturer's wheel type symbol, use optional. So here also it was optional, that is prefix. So prefix and suffix, these are manufacturer related, and this abrasive, grain size, grade, structure, bond type, these are property related. Mounting of wheels. Mounting of wheels. Wheel speed, when it comes to mounting of wheels, means wheel speed. Before mounting wheel, ensure that Speed of spindle does not exceed maximum permissible speed marked on wheel. I'll go for 10 minutes here. Meanwhile, you can read this. I'll be back. It's really sometimes important. I'll take 10 minutes and come back. Hold on, please. Because I cannot sit too long now because of my health problem and also for some other activity. I have still been problem with my leg. I cannot. Oh my God. My leg is jammed. I can't stand. Oh my God. लेकिन क्या करें, can't help it. So what I was saying was about this one 75, okay, but I think 175 is better. Mounting of wheels, so we talked about this. Designations, we talked about this. Abrasive wheels, that is WA. We talked abrasive, we talked grain size, we talked grade, we talked structure, we talked bond type. And prefix and suffix are optional. We talked about grain size, that was coarse, medium, fine, very fine. Range of course is from 8 to 24, medium is 30 to 60, fine is 80 to 180, and very fine is 220 to 600. And we talked of abrasive, and that's, for example, aluminum oxide, that's represented by A, silicon carbide, that's represented by C. Then of course we talk of grade, that's A to Z. For example, it's K in this case, so it A to Z, whatever. Then we talked of structure, that's 1 to 8, and to open 9 through 15. And of course we talked of bond type, that's whatever, vitrified or resinoid, rubber, shellac, silicate. Now mounting of wheels, mounting. Wheel speed, we are talking of mounting of wheel, that is. Now wheel speed before mounting we can say, before mounting wheel, ensure that speed of spindle does not exceed maximum permissible speed marked on wheel. Whatever speed is marked on wheel, you should not go beyond that. Before mounting wheel, ensure that speed of spindle does not exceed maximum permissible speed marked on wheel. Flanges. Every abrasive wheel must be mounted between suitable flanges. Every abrasive wheel must be mounted between suitable flanges, which should be not less than 1/3 diameter of wheel. Flanges should be recessed on side next to wheel to ensure that clamping pressure is not exerted near hole. Flanges should be recessed on side next to wheel to ensure that clamping pressure is not exerted near hole. Flanges for wheels with large holes. Flanges for wheels with large holes should not be recessed, but corners of wheel seating should be undercut. Inner driving flange should be keyed, screwed, shrunk, or otherwise secured to spindle, and flange bearing surface should run through with spindle. Complications there. Again I say, flanges for wheels, I think you understand flange. Flanges for wheels with large holes should not be recessed, but corners of wheel seating should be undercut. Inner driving flange should be keyed, screwed, shrunk, or otherwise re-secured to spindle, and flange bearing surface should run through with spindle. Flanges should be made of mild steel or other material of equal or higher strength and rigidity. Flange bearing surfaces should be machined through, and there should be no exposed rough edges or surfaces. Washers. Purpose of washer is to distribute clamping pressure evenly on wheels and reduce wearing of flanges. Washers should be used between wheel and flanges. Washers should be used between wheel and flanges wherever clamping surfaces are flat. Care should be taken to ensure that each washer is free from crinkles. If wheel has been used before, pieces of old washer or loose grains of abrasive should be carefully removed. Securing wheel. In case of a single central spindle nut, tighten nut sufficiently to ensure that flanges drive wheel, preventing slip. In case of a single central spindle nut, tighten nut sufficiently to ensure that flanges drive wheel, preventing slip. When flanges are clamped, when flanges are clamped by a series of screws, ensure to tighten them uniformly. Starting new wheels. Before running wheels, before running wheels, make sure that guard is in proper adjustment. Rotate wheel by hand to make sure that it is clear over entire round. New wheels should be run free at full operating speed for a short period before they are used. During trial run, everyone should stand clear. That's very important point in starting new wheels. How to start says number one, before running wheels, make sure that guard is in proper adjustment. Guard is guide. Oh, rotate wheel by hand to make sure that it's clear over entire round. New wheels should be run free at full operating speed for a short period before they are used. During trial run, everyone should stand clear. Summary of mounting precautions. Summary of mounting precautions. Let me blow up a little bit. Okay, let us see. Summary of mounting precautions. Before mounting, all wheels should be closely inspected. Mounting is putting on. Before mounting, all wheels should be closely inspected and rung to make sure that they have not been mishandled in transit or storage. Only competent and authorized persons should carry out wheel mounting. Bush, if included, should not project beyond side of wheel. Care should be taken to ensure that all wheels, washers and flanges are free from foreign matter. All burrs should be taken off flanges. Washers of compressible material not over 1/16 of an inch thickness should be fitted between wheel and its flanges. 1/16 of an inch, and this means half mm, half 1/16 of an inch. Inch is having 8 divisions. It's saying 16, so half of that division you can say of an inch. Or you can say, let's say 25.4, so 1/16 of that, 25, you can consider that one. So you can say washers of compressible material not over 1/16 of an inch thickness, that's thick washer thickness, should be fitted between wheel and its flanges where surfaces are flat. Wrinkles in washers should be avoided. Washers are not recommended to taper and dovetail wheels. When tightening nuts, care should be taken to tighten them just enough to hold wheel firmly. Excessive clamping pressure is liable to damage wheel. Nut should be tightened by hand pressure on a spanner and never by a hammer and chisel or similar means. When flanges are clamped by a series of bolts, when flanges are clamped by a series of bolts, care should be taken to screw up each bolt uniformly. Uniformly. All bolts should first be run up with fingers and then tightened in pattern formation afterward. All bolts should first be run up with fingers and then tightened in pattern formation afterward. Guards. Guards shall be Guards shall be securely attached to body of machine. For straight sided wheels, maximum angular exposure of abrasives, periphery and side shall not exceed 180 degree. For straight sided wheels, maximum angular exposure of abrasive periphery and sides shall not exceed 180 degrees. Guards for straight grinding machines should be provided with a front curtain which shall be securely fastened to body of machine. Guards for straight grinding machine should be provided with a front curtain which should be securely fastened to body of machine. For cup wheels, back face and periphery shall be enclosed and guards to be adjusted to compensate for wear of wheel. For depressed center grinding wheels, wheel shall have a maximum angular exposure of 180 degrees and guard be so located as to work between operator and wheel during use. You can say for depressed center grinding wheels, wheel shall have a maximum angular exposure of 180 degrees and guard be so located as to work between operator and wheel during use. Clearance between inside of guard and periphery of unused wheel shall not be greater than 5% of nominal wheel diameter. Guards have four main functions: to contain wheel parts in event of a burst, to protect wheel against advertent damage from shock, to prevent wheel against advertent damage from shock, to prevent as far as possible operators coming into contact with wheel, and to prevent an oversized wheel being fitted. Rests for wheel. Where there is a rest provided with supporting workpiece, for supporting workpiece, it shall at all times while wheel is in motion be properly secured and adjusted so as to be as close as practically practicable to exposed part of abrasive wheel, means where there is a rest provided with for supporting workpiece. It shall at all times while wheel is in motion be properly secured and adjusted. Train truing and dressing. Before that, every rest provided must be of substantial construction. You can say every rest, every rest provided must be of substantial construction and properly maintained. Truing and dressing. Truing and dressing. Accidents may be caused by operator's fingers being trapped between rest and wheel. Also be caused if work done in itself trapped. Although such accidents are more frequently caused by bad rest adjustments, their possibility is minimized by frequently maintaining to keep wheel in concentric position on its spindle. Although such accidents are more frequently caused by a bad rest adjustment, their possibility is minimized by frequently maintaining to keep wheel in concentric position on its spindle. A wheel out of round shall cause excessive vibration out of round of center, shall cause excessive vibration and periodic knocking of work against wheel, which will invariably result in damage to either abrasive wheel or spindle bearing. Conditions of wheel surface such as loading, glazing, which reduces cutting action, may induce operator to compensate by additional pressure of work on abrasive wheels. Condition of wheel surface such as loading, glazing, which reduces cutting action, may induce operator to compensate by additional pressure of work on abrasive wheel. Dressing a wheel is therefore essential for efficient production, and frequent light dressing are generally preferable to occasional deep dressing. Now, important precautions should be cared about. Dressing tools should be rigidly mounted. Dressing tools should be rigidly mounted at proper angle and direction with a dresser of revolving cutter type, lugs to be provided as an anchor. Haphazard methods of dressing such as using chipping hammer or even striking work against wheels should be forbidden. Care should be taken to reduce possibility of dressing tools jamming between abrasive wheel and rest or other fixed part of machine. While trying or dressing, operators should be properly protected by hoods or screen. While trying or dressing, operators should be properly protected by hoods or screen. Available are many types of abrasive wheels, dressers, and various methods by which these operations may be carried out. Wheel balance. Makers within normal limits. Makers within normal limits balance abrasive wheels for some operations. Closer limits of balance are required. This is obtained by various methods such as insertion of lead, use of heavy paint, or by an arrangement of sliding weight. Out of balance conditions cause chatter. Out of balance condition causes chatter, which can be detrimental to work, and if it is excessive, it may result in damage. It can result in damage to wheel and spindle. Generally, large wheels and faster speed requires high importance of correct balancing. Condition of floors. Floors surrounding every fixed machine. Floors surrounding every fixed machine or area where portable tools are used. Such use shall be maintained in good and even condition. It should be kept clear of those materials and prevented from becoming slippery. Approved cautions, approved cautionary notice regarding hazards arising from use of abrasive wheels shall be affixed, signed, and erected in every room where grinding or cutting is carried out. Approved cautionary measures, cautionary notice regarding hazards arising from use of abrasive wheels shall be affixed, signed, and erected in every room where grinding or cutting is carried out. Duties of labor or worker. No employed person using an abrasive wheel shall willfully misuse or remove its guard, no employed person using an abrasive wheel shall willfully misuse or remove its guard, willfully or misuse any protection flange or other appliance provided in pursuance of regulations or whatever rest for a work piece. Every employed person shall make adequate and proper use of guards, protection flanges, and other appliances provided with in pursuance of these regulations and of rests for work peace. We can say then, if someone discovers, I say every employed person shall make adequate and proper use of guards, protection flanges, and other appliances provided with in pursuance of these regulations and of rest for work peace. and if someone discovers certain defect, shall forthwith report respecting such defect to foreman, manager, organizer, or other responsible authority. Eye protection. Persons carrying out dry grinding operations or truing or dressing an abrasive wheel must wear suitable eye protection or be protected by suitable transparent screen. Cautionary notice. Approved cautionary notice of hazards arising from use of abrasive wheels should be affixed on every room where grinding or cutting is carried out. References BS 2092 British Standard and BS 4481 one is specification for eye protection, and one is abrasive products. So we have gone through this small chapter of of abrasive product. Environment control and waste disposal. Now